Hey guys, I wanted to go live real quick this afternoon and kind of discuss the the team members that you need for your home care service, or the team members that I use, the people to help me get the job done, get more clients, hire more staff, um, get more calls going out, get our advertisement done, our marketing with our signs out, our literature racks and materials out. Um, so I can't do all this by myself. Obviously, the caregivers to go to work every day. A lot of these things I can't do. I can't do everything, and I don't want to do everything. So I'm gonna do this quick live and kind of explain my staff structure and basically my team, how we train them, some of the things that we do to keep them excited, keep them motivated, and make sure they got everything they need to be successful and helpful for us, for our company. So the first person is usually, if you're starting your business, you're brand new and you just starting your home care service, you're probably going to be considered the office manager. You're going to basically run everything and oversee everything, all of the day-to-day operations, from your scheduling, your calls going out, your the calls coming in from caregivers calling out, just everything that's going on in the day-to-day process. This is what the office manager has to oversee and make sure it's getting done. In the beginning, you won't be able to hire an office manager because they just want a little bit more money. I would suggest starting off as being your own office manager and just hiring an admin, and that's the second person you want to get. So the office manager obviously oversees everything, and then the office assistant or the administrative assistant, they basically work for your office manager or work for you, and that's the person that you kind of give off the majority of your tasks to. If I have someone in the office during business hours, 9 to 5, I want them personally. I feel like meaningful relationship development, contacting referral sources, following up with leads, reaching out to current clients, making sure they're satisfied and trying to get referrals out of them. Like, those are the top 3 things that I want going on during business hours. It's called, we call it being on the right side of the money line. You got the right side and the wrong side of the money line. And I'm going to keep my staff on the right side of the money line between 9 to 5. That's making calls to potential referral sources, reaching out to current clients, and doing follow-ups on people who've called and they haven't signed up yet, but we're just following up with them and letting them know we're still available and we're still looking to do business with them. So those are the top things that I want my admin doing during the day from 9 to 5. After hours, after 9 to 5, depending on how we set up the schedule for them, when you first get started, you won't need them 8 hours a day. I would just hire them for 4, and I would make them do, be on the right side of the money line. That's follow-ups, referral sources, and current clients. Just kind of touch base with them, making sure they're satisfied. Current clients, and trying to drum up referrals out of your current clients. Reach out into your referral network, growing your referral network, and leads, follow-ups. So those are the 3 things I would have them do if I had all I had was 4 hours out of an administrative assistant. So I talked about the office manager. I'm just talking about the admin. What I would have them do if I were you guys just getting started. But in an 8-hour day, we have them in the office for 8 hours. So that means they're going to be, majority of the day, they're going to be on the phone, reaching out to potentially trying to drum up some business. But there's other tasks that need to be done, like moving schedules around, caregivers calling out, clients having issues, changing service, putting the new clients into the system, putting the new leads into the system. Going out, saying bad connection. Hold on. Putting the new caregivers, like the applicants, in the system. So this all has to be happening, because just like new clients are calling, you calling your referral sources. If you put ads in Indeed and put you get like the 50 churches in your target marketplace, and you got flyers in there, in 50 churches at least, and then you're doing ads on Indeed, you're going to be getting caregiver calls all day long. So somebody has to manage that as well, setting up the group interviews, making sure they're sending over, they know what to bring as far as their paperwork, certifications and stuff like that for the interviews. So all of the office managers overseeing it, but this is the basic tedium that the admin is doing for you. So recently we started doing, we put out an ad for interns. I just did a video about 2 or 3 months ago. So intern, well, I got it from another one of my coaching clients. He had said, man, he said, I put out an ad for an intern, and I got a lot of responses, unpaid intern. So I was like, wow, I'm gonna try that. So this was about 6 months ago. We put out an ad. We got a big response, and we just kind of weeded through, see who was serious, who was really willing to work without pay for a certain amount of time. And we found a nice girl who now works. She's about in her last couple weeks as a paid intern. I mean, as a free intern, and she's gonna go into a paid intern. She's gonna be making a little less than the administrative assistant, but hopefully, if she enjoys it and she likes to work, she's in college and she wants to stick around, we'll bump her up and hire her full time. But that's an option for you guys. After your office manager, who, like I said, it should be yourself in the beginning, you hire your admin. You might get an admin part time because that's all you can afford. So if you, I don't know, different regions pay differently. But you should be able to get away with, you should be able to find a good person who's willing to work part-time for like $10 to $11 an hour, 20 hours a week. That's just part-time. So that's about $220, $240 a week that you'll be paying them. But they're coming in there working for you 4 hours a day. And that's why I said, if you're paying that money out every day to that admin, you want them drumming up business. You don't want them working on schedules and taking calls for caregivers, because that doesn't bring in money. You want the people you're paying to always be generating money, generating sales, generating leads. And then the intern, hire an intern, unpaid intern, 60, 90 days, 6 months, however you feel like you can negotiate, unpaid. Let them know that they're going to be working with a brand new company. They're going to get a lot of entrepreneurial experience. If this is something, if they looking forward to. What excited them about us was me being an entrepreneur and having multiple businesses, and they're just seeing it like, wow, I'm gonna learn a lot from this guy. So they saw that potential. I'm teaching them about Facebook ads, running a business. They're seeing stuff with the assisted living. They're helping me out with stuff with the assisted living. They're seeing how we, move around in the community as far as with the community liaisons and the referral sources. She even put out signs for us one Friday because one of the sign installers wasn't available. So the intern can be very good for your company, and she can do the tedium that the office managers, that you can't do because maybe you have a full-time job or you just want to focus on different stuff. The admin is responsible for, but she can't necessarily always get to it. Like the intern could be, getting all the applicants' information. They could be calling back, setting up scheduling interviews, making sure the applicants, the new caregivers who are applying, they have all their documents, citations and stuff like that. You might, I don't know how you want to do it early on. I'm kind of picky about who I put in my system as far as like my access care. So the admin, obviously she's going to be in there because she's going to have to be putting schedules, changing stuff around, adding referral sources and stuff like that. But an intern who's not on the payroll, they still sign the same confidentiality agreement, but I just haven't put her in the system yet. So it's only certain things that she can do, or she's in the system, but just with limited access. And you just have to use your own discretion based on what they can do as far as in your system, in your actual software. Because why I say that is because when you get in the system and you give them certain access, they can see how much people are getting paid, they can see how much the clients is paying, and they can see how many hours people will work. It's just there's a lot of personal information that you don't want to give somebody who's new to your company, and is not well vetted, and you kind of see how they are, kind of got a good idea of their character and their integrity. So So that's the intern. So the office manager, that's you in the beginning, overseeing everything. The admin is doing the day-to-day tedium, and let's say like this: the office manager, the administrative assistant, focus on just making them do the referral, calling trying to drum up leads, and then your intern, she can do the tedium, the scheduling, calling the caregivers back, and all that stuff. And just taking the incoming calls from the current caregivers, because the current caregivers gonna blow you up. They're gonna always be calling you. They're gonna always be having different issues, concerns, and things going on like that. Your caregivers is gonna call you a lot. Once you get about 10, 15, 20 caregivers, your phone gonna be ringing all day. So you got to get a separate line for the caregiver. But you don't want to write it off. You got to listen to what's going on, because they're gonna tell you a lot of stuff like that you got to read between the lines. Like you'll be able to see like, okay, they about to quit, or they're not too happy with this case. They're not gonna make it over there. The family's not her and his family not jiving. So you got to be paying attention. You know what I mean? You got to make sure whoever's taking the calls from the caregivers is taking notes and putting it in their file, so you can know exactly what's going on, especially if there's issues, major issues and stuff like that. So that's something you can have your intern doing, or again, your administrative assistants, your admin. The fourth person I want to talk to you guys about real quick is the virtual assistant. Virtual assistant, you can get a good one off freelancer.com, Upwork.com, and even Fiverr.com. What are they doing? They could be creating your newsletters for you, your email newsletters. They could design your paper newsletter. They could design brochures. They can manage your social media for you. They can create blog posts for you, help you, customize your website, optimize your website. They can do so many different things. And being as though they're virtual, usually they're working from home, obviously, but then also they're from the other countries. You got some very good virtual assistants who speak great English in countries like the Philippines and India. And they could do a lot for your company as far as like online. So they could be handling a lot of your, like I said, your email marketing, your newsletters. They could be data mining. They could go get your whole referral source for you, your whole referral network for you. They can develop a whole referral network for you. You just give them the counties and the assisted livings. I live in Montgomery County, Maryland. We focus on Montgomery County, Maryland. I want every assisted living, every adult daycare center, and every nursing home in that county. They'll go in the computer and put it in the spreadsheet just like you want it, and you'll be paying them like $3-4 an hour. So that's a quick way to develop a great big old list for your admin to start calling to develop those referral sources. And we talk about it all the time, the meaningful relationship development. So the best place to find virtual assistants are freelancer.com, upwork.com. And if you guys have any questions, like as I'm talking, or ideas and things that I might just kind of breeze through, go ahead and post a question so I can help you understand it better. Like if you got any questions about the admin's duties, the office manager, the intern, or the virtual assistant, which we didn't cover so far, just go ahead and post a question if you don't understand. But definitely think about jumping on freelancer.com, Upwork.com, and even Fiverr.com to get you a nice virtual assistant. Moving on, you want to have. So for me, I do signs. So I have a dedicated person a sign installer. That's what he does. He goes out every Friday, put out all my signs. We try to put out 100 to 200 signs every week. In some counties, he got to go back and pick them up on Sunday nights. In some counties, he can leave them out. But that's a position. He gets paid $1 a sign, and plus gas. So if he puts out 200 signs, I give him $200 plus a $20, $25 gift card every weekend. That's his job. And if he goes picks them up, he gets 50 cents for every sign he retrieves. So depending on what he does, and he can make, that's a pretty good, decent job for like a little part-time. We got a guy, I don't know what he does during the week, but he has a little pickup truck. He goes out, I give him the route. How I give him the route, we create the route on Google Maps. We look at all the intersections of every county, and we create the map. We upload that list that map, that route. I mean, we create the route based on Google Maps. We upload that route to simplecrew.com, and we invite him to that route with the date, the time, and how many signs. And he takes a picture of every sign, so I know where every sign is at in every county at all times. That's how we keep it. Keep him accountable. In the beginning, I didn't have Simple Crew. I had ran into one of my sign installers. He forgot he didn't put my signs out, and he opened his trunk. We were just talking randomly, and he opened his trunk, and I look in there, and he got all my signs. I'm like, damn, dude, I thought I paid you to put these signs out. He said, oh, no, I was going to do it later on, blah, blah. So after that, we found an app, a program, a software called simplecrew.com, and we've been able to track their routes from there from that point on. So the office manager, admin, intern, virtual assistant, sign installer, and then next is the community liaison. What's the community liaison? This is probably but after the caregivers, I think the caregivers are the most important people in the staff. Everybody's important. I don't want to give anybody more important, but the community liaison is a very important part of your organization. Like I was saying, you want to be the office manager in the beginning, but you want to hire an admin or an intern so you can be your own community liaison. Community liaison is somebody who goes out into community based on those referral sources that you didn't data mine from Google, all the different counties, the assisted livings, the top referral sources. We talk about it all the time. It's all over the page. Once you compile that list, 200 to 300, 400, how many people you can get in the top 5 counties in your marketplace, you're going to send out a community liaison. You have this person. She has your literature. She has your contracts, your story. She's branded. She has a uniform with your logo on it. When she goes into these places, she represents your organization. In the beginning, you might can't afford this person. You have to be it yourself. So that's, instead of sitting in the office doing that stuff, you're gonna have to get out into the community once those calls have been made and once those appointments have been set. I don't have to go out there because we have a community liaison who goes out there. Somebody just asked about a nurse. I definitely want my community liaison to be a nurse. She could be an LPN. She doesn't have to be an RN. She doesn't have to be, a nurse practitioner or nothing fancy. But I want her to have some experience with the senior community and to be a nurse. People respond to nurses a little bit different, especially when you're going into these type of environments. When you're going into these rehabilitation centers doing presentations. When you're going into these nursing homes doing presentations, when you're going into these large assisted livings doing presentations, I send a nurse. I want to send a nurse. So, she has that extra experience, that extra knowledge. I didn't go to nursing school, so she knows certain things and can answer different questions and point out different issues to these potential referral sources that I can't do. So we train her and hire her. And then there's another edge to it that I never mentioned on live. I never told anybody before. We put them through a specific training program called the Sandler Training Institute. The Sandler Training is a very expensive training. So before you send your community liaison to that training, you want to make sure they're going to stick around, and you want to make sure you have them under contract for at least a year after the training, because the training is so intense, it's so good, but it's expensive, and it's going to add a lot of value to their profession. They're going to be a lot better at selling, negotiating, building clientele, converting referral sources. And they're going to it's a sales program that just teaches you a whole lot about mentoring, and it just makes you a whole better, all around better business person. So before you put that person through that training, you want to make sure they've been around a while, you trust them, they believe in what you're doing, and then you're paying them right. What do? We give them commission. 1 second. We pay them on commission and a salary. And an hourly. I give them, we ain't going to discuss it because that's somebody's actual pay. But we pay them well. We give them great commission. Hourly, you just got to see what you can, because you're talking with a nurse. And again, you want to make sure you're getting them for at least 25 to 30 hours a week, going out into the community, pushing your product, pushing your service, pushing your brand, in a well spoken, professional way, in a professional manner. So you're just sending her to all these different locations. So what we covered was office manager, the admin. The office manager is going to be you in the beginning. The admin, that's what they basically have them in the beginning. You want them just making the calls to referral sources and stuff like that. In turn, they could be doing some of the tedium, basically helping you with the caregivers, the current caregivers and the applicants calling in, and the emails and stuff like that, because they're sending their resumes and all that stuff, managing Indeed and stuff like that. And you want to, here's another thing, you want to have different numbers for different things. You don't want to have leads, your referral source is calling the same number that the caregivers is calling, because I know if the caregivers is calling, applicants, I'm sorry, not the caregivers is working for us, the people who are applying for positions. I don't want them calling the same number where I got referral sources calling, because I don't want to get that call mixed up. I don't want them calling, because caregivers, when they're looking for a job, they really aggressive. They don't be so aggressive all the time once they get the job. But when they trying to get a job, it's probably something serious. They need to pay some bills, so they be trying to get on. And they'll be blowing your office phone up. So have a separate line for that. Google give you a free number, a million free numbers as you can create emails. So use Google to track those numbers and have specific things going to specific people. Later on, some more little advanced techniques. You want different phone numbers on all your different marketing. So we got we got on our postcards that we send in the mail, that's a different number that's on our signs, that's on our newsletter, just so we can see what's working and you track results. It's just a little bit more advanced marketing strategies, but definitely Sandler training. Yep. Oh, it's called Sandler. I think you forgot the L. It's Sandler, Sandler. And there's usually a local Sandler training in most major cities, so you'll find one. And you should definitely take that training for yourself as well. 2 books that I recommend you guys read when it comes to hiring, training, building your team around you, getting great people and making their lives easier and making their lives better is the E-Myth, and making your life better, giving you more free time to do the bigger picture things, is the E-Myth, the 4-Hour Work Week, and the 1-Minute Manager. The 3 top books that you need to read as an entrepreneur. You have to. If you want to grow a staff, grow a business, and learn to outsource, the E-Myth is going to teach you how to build your company structure, your staff structure in your office, your actual physical structure. The 4-Hour Work Week, that's going to help you with the virtual assistants, building a team of people who aren't necessarily in your office, but they're still working with you on a consistent basis. The 4-Hour Work Week is going to help you with that. Tim Ferriss. And then the 1-Minute Manager, it's a great book. It's a small book, but it has some profound techniques on how to manage, and how to just deal with people one-on-one, and how not to be overbearing, and how to make them independent. A couple other things I wanted to talk about was trainings for your caregivers. You want to keep your caregivers continue ed. You want to offer continued education. We like the Institute of Professional Care Education. It's called the Institute of Professional Care Education. IPCED.com. IPCED.com. Sandler Sales Training. And Sandler has a lot of great books too. I always talk about them. And then also, there's a program that I read about maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and we've been working with it off and on. And when I get younger caregivers, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm not excited about caregivers in their 20s. I don't discriminate, but you have to really prove to me that you got a life and you got some responsibilities and you're excited about this work, and you're not gonna be sitting on your phone. So what I did was I didn't invent this program, but I was reading about another home care service, and what he did was have caregiver mentors. So within your organization, within your staff, within your caregiver staff, he said, take the ones that are senior, the ones that are great, the ones that come to work, the ones who've been doing, the ones that are a little older, a little bit more mature, and assign them to the newer ones. You know what I mean? And what they do is they begin to, show them their way, the company's way, and it gives them an outlet and a learning experience, an outlet to kind of talk about what they're dealing with as a new caregiver, or with just not as much experience. Get the insight from the senior caregiver who's been through it probably, been doing it for years, and they can communicate. And guess what? I don't have to do. I don't have to coach them. Now, a caregiver. I'm not even a caregiver. I've never been a caregiver. I have a top caregiver working with my new caregivers, and the majority of the time they won't. You know, you think, oh, you got to pay them more. They don't mind doing it. They don't mind. Hey, can you call such and such every Friday? You know, right when she get off of her shift, just kind of touch base and see how she doing, and then have the caregiver say, hey, look, you know, if you have any questions, you know, just basic questions about just everyday home care stuff. Nothing is really work related. If it's work related, call the office. If it's a problem, call the office. Don't call your mentor, but call your caregiver mentor. Call the office. But if it's just some general stuff and you have somebody you thinking about some stuff and you just want some insight or some help, you can shoot your mentor, your caregiver mentor, a text. You can shoot her a message. You could give her a call. She'll return your call. So that's a great way to create a nice family style organization where everyone is helping each other out. One thing that will happen when they start really getting close to each other, the caregivers start working together, they're gonna start, oh, can you fill my shift? Could you do this? You're going to have to nip that in the bud quick, because they're going to be like, oh, such and such. They won't even tell you. They'll go to work for her, and then they'll go back. So you'll be like, who clocked in? What's going on? And they'll do it. And, you know, just because they feel like, oh, the shift covered, it don't matter. I didn't tell the office. But you didn't clock in. You ain't getting paid. I don't care who went. You know what I'm saying? You didn't go, so you're not getting paid. Nobody's getting paid because the person who was supposed to go there. So you nip that kind of stuff in the bud early. But it's definitely great to have a great communication between senior caregivers and the new caregivers. And I'm not saying new caregivers or young caregivers. There's people who don't have as much experience as the people who do. And that's just a little side note I want to throw in there. I had to put it in my notes so I can share that with you guys. And then the last thing, then we can do some Q&A if you guys want, is patlive.com. Patlive.com is an answering service. What you could do is, we have a script. And if you want our script, I'll probably do like a little free thing like I just did with the thing for the script. If y'all want the script, where you send me your number and all that. I just put it together. I'll do the script next. So we send the Pat Live the script. They train somebody in their company to say everything, your business name and all the things you want to say to your clients. And then you pay them to take your calls 24 hours. Because once you start marketing, when you're marketing online, when you're marketing outside with signs, flyers, brochures, calls gonna come in all hours of the night. You don't want you don't want yourself as the owner to have to answer the phone at 10 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock. I mean, it's exciting in the beginning because you're doing business and you're excited, you just motivated. A year from now, you're gonna be like, man, I can't. It's just too much. So using this answer service, they're probably the most inexpensive and most professional organizations that I've been able to find. Fine, you get a certain amount of minutes every month, and if you're a new company, you won't go over those minutes, and it's about $150 a month. But you got to realize they're taking your calls 24/7 for your company. So how much would that cost you to pay somebody to do that? An admin to pay them, because you can't pay them just to answer calls. You're gonna have to pay them hourly to do a whole job. So patlive.com is a great service. Check them out. I learned about them in real estate, and I just gave them a home care script. They've been killing it. You know, I love them. I get a transcript. I get everything that the caller said. I get their phone number, everything, all the questions that my caller asked, all the concerns that the family had, and they even set up my consultations. On the script that we sent them, they have an option to set up the consultation right there on the spot. So when I get that, because they send it to me in an email, all I have to do is forward that email to my consultant who goes out and do my consultations, and boom, 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 boom. We never even get the call. It's going straight. The consultant calls, confirms it, the date and the time with the family, and then they go out, meet with the family, sign up a new client, just like that. And I never saw anything. All I saw was a call come from Pat Live. The consultant who goes out and do our consultations got the call, reached out to the family, the lead, confirmed it, went out there, did her thing, closed the contract. Now we got a new client, just like that. And that's Pat Live. That can circumvent a lot of stuff that's going in the office. Stuff can get calls get missed because people trying to on the other call, like Pat Live, they never miss the call. The call always gets answered. So that was just another little quick tip for you guys. If you guys have any questions, I'm gonna take some questions real quick before I jump off of here. I'm gonna go back real quick. Demetria, hey, good morning. Hey, Bernadette, hello. How you doing? Stacy Bernard, how many consumers stay in these homes? When you mean, Stacy, I don't know if you're still online. What do you mean? How many consumers stay in these homes? Are you talking about the nursing homes that we visit? Because that could be hundreds. The assisted livings, that could vary from a small assisted living, we may have like 10, 15 people, to another, a pretty big complex of assisted living, beds, and so it could be a lot or a little, but I'm not sure what you're asking me. But yeah, if you're talking about the assisted livings, the adult daycare centers, then that's just people going in and out and not living there. But if you're talking about the nursing homes, the rehab facilities, and the assisted livings, it's a lot, so it's a lot of people. Hey Pamela, what's going on? Something just came to my mind. I remember it. Angela, can you start a non-medical without a nurse? Absolutely. I mean, you don't need a nurse. You don't see, a lot of people think nurse. I don't have a nurse on payroll every week. We pay them. Besides the community liaison, she handles a lot of the other stuff as well, kind of filling her hours. So you don't necessarily need a nurse on payroll, on staff, paying them by the hour. It'll break you if you're not a hospital or something. So, can you start now? Yeah, so definitely you can start it without it. In most states. But they might have to sign off on your paperwork and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like in Maryland, when you get a assisted living facility, you have to have a nurse. A nurse contracted on the application when you send it to get that new property, that new home approved by the state to be an assisted living facility. So you gotta have a nurse for that, but not home care. Also, for the tax ID, could it be LLC even if it's just two people? Yeah, absolutely, because LLC is one person. So Sandy, yep. So Angela, yep. Sandler Training. Say it again, yep. Sandler Training. Boo, 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 boo. LLC for tax ID. Say you get an LLC, then you go file your tax ID with the IRS. Yep. Victoria, hey, how you doing? The business plan you offer on the site, is it the same one in the business in the box? I don't think so. I think the one that in the business in the box is a little generic, and then the one that we actually customize for you is a little bit more detailed, and we get more information from you so we can help, so we can set it up for you. I have a friend interested in it. Oh, okay. Just go ahead and send it to her. Tell her, give us a call. Demetria Givens, which is easier to get up and running, adult daycare or assisted living? I don't know. I've never opened up adult daycare. Adult daycare, when I see them, they're usually like in churches or like storefronts. You know what I mean? They'd be like in like a storefront in the different, or like state agencies or city agencies. The seniors will go there. Different assisted livings will take them there. Some people got, some of them offer drop off. Sometimes the caregiver has to stay. Stuff like that. And rehab facility. I want to talk. That's what I forgot a second ago. Rehab facilities. If you know anything about home care, you know that every time a patient leaves the hospital and they've been in the hospital, a senior's been in the hospital for a significant amount of time, they have to go to the rehab first before they can go home. Because they've been laying in that bed, they need to get their muscles and their legs and all that stuff back walking. So the rehabs are very important. I just wanted to not forget to say that. God, I didn't think you saw it. Yeah, I saw. I could see everything, y'all. So, yeah. Hopefully that was helpful. I'm glad you guys joined me. I'm looking forward to working with a lot of new people who signed up for the Done For You program over the last couple weeks. We got a lot of new people bought the virtual business coaching, signed up for that. And we're just looking forward to working with you guys. Me and Nakia are, working tirelessly. We got, we hired a new person to help us. So we're working to really help you guys get up and running, man. We seeing new home care facilities popping up all over the country. I'm seeing new, people taking the assisted living information and actually putting it to work. Like, that means something to me. That has value to me. That means I feel like I'm impacting the world. Like I'm really helping my community. I'm helping my people. You know what I mean? Can I see, this girl, she was struggling as a CNA, or she was struggling as a phlebotomist or a medical assistant, or even a nurse, working 1,000,000 hours, but she don't have no freedom. You know what I mean? You can't even see your kids. You working 12. When do you have? You working 12, you have no life. If you working 12, you have no life, because you gotta sleep, you gotta eat, you gotta get dressed, get in the bath, you gotta groom, and you gotta commute. After that, you're done. You don't have no time. So your life is your job. If you're not excited about it, it's a problem. If you love what you do, you stick with it, stay with it. I'm all for that. But I'm just excited to see the people have an option. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to just be an employee in the healthcare field anymore. You could be a business owner. You feel me? You don't have to sit around and watch these home care agencies make millions and millions of dollars every year off your work. You could tap into that and make some of those millions for yourself. You don't have to go working at these assisted living facilities where they're making $3,000-4,000 a month off each resident, and they giving you whatever they're giving you to come take care of it, and you've never seen. They probably most of these assisted living, the families the people who own it, the owners don't even live in the same state. They living in the mountains somewhere on somebody's beach while you in there working. And I'm not saying it's a problem. If you're excited about the work you're doing and it's comfortable and it's benefiting your lifestyle and you're okay with it, cool. If you want something more, you want to be an owner, you want to walk away with something and leave something to your children, an asset. I'm gonna drop a couple things on you guys before I get off of here. A home is not an asset. Even if you buying it, paying mortgage, it's not an asset. It has no value. You putting money out, it has no value. Turn it into assisted living, now it's an asset. Now it's paying you. Assets pay you, liabilities you pay for them. It's that simple. Cars, if you ain't flipping it, it's a liability. Houses, if you ain't generating some income from it, it's a liability. I was in real estate. There's no other strategy for a single family home to generate that kind of money in the real estate industry. No landlord, no Section 8, no high price tenant paying whatever. The top market value would never be able to compete with senior assisted living residents, what they pay for that 24-hour care that we provide for them. It's no other way to monetize a piece of property. And that's no better asset to leave to my children. I feel like if I could leave you 10 assisted livings on autopilot, you good to go. So yeah, think about that. Look at that. If you're a homeowner, look at how you can turn your home into a assisted living and move and kick yourself out and put a family in there. My goal is to eventually, I want to die in one of my assisted livings. I want to be in my own home where my kids don't got nothing to worry about. The caregivers work for us. That I'm the boss. I'm the old grumpy man in the big room telling everybody what to do, because as long as I got my sense, I'm going to still be running the show. But I'm not going to be no burden on nobody. I watched, my family was, my mother, they died when I was, they died. So I didn't really deal with it, that they died younger. So they didn't kind of get that old. But at the same time, I watched my dad go in and out of nursing home when he started getting sick. And I ain't gonna say he was a burden on us. He was more of a burden on the state because they was paying for it. You know what I mean? But I don't want my kids to have to. And he was going to like these raggedy nursing homes. Like I wasn't in a situation to do, better for him. You know what I mean? He stayed with me a lot, but he had medical needs, so I couldn't keep him I wanted to keep him in my house, but it was just, I just wasn't ready. But going through that, seeing him suffer, I ain't gonna say suffer like that, but going through like the not the greatest environment in his later years, I don't want to put my kids through that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put my daughter through that, my son through that, my other daughter through that, watching me, age as a burden on you. I want to make sure that I'm leaving you an asset. I'm leaving you a situation. Your dad got you, and he got himself. You know what I mean? I'm not your burden. I'm your, I'm somebody. I'm an asset to you. I'm adding value to your life. I'm not draining you. And I see that as part of my vision with the assisted living. I can move myself into them. I still have one living grandmother. Very prideful, very healthy, living in a great big old house by herself. And I eventually want her to move her into one of my facilities. You know what I mean? I'm gonna, deck it out, make sure she's in her 80s now, but she's mobile. She still goes to the gym, like she still do everything. She's still flying, going around the country. But when she's there, I want to make sure we got a place for her, and she's not gonna have to pay 1 cent. Because you gave birth to my mother. My brother gave birth to me. I'm here. For you, I wouldn't even be on this planet. So I want to make sure I got an environment for her, in a lovely location, with great staff that's taking care of her. I also want to show people that my facilities, my assisted livings are so good. I put my own family in there. It's not no bootleg stuff that we just throwing anybody in there. No, my grandmother lives in this facility, so if my grandmother live in there, I'm gonna make sure it's to the highest standard. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm excited about. We got a lot of people signed up. Go ahead, jump on the website, sign up, man, join, get with it. Put your email in, give us a call, get on some coaching. Let's just talk about it. Let's see how we can help you. Yeah, somebody said my parents, so let me see. Can you start now? Yeah. I'm just going down reading y'all comments. Okay, got it. Don't think you saw it. Oh yeah, I saw it. You should come to Akron, Canton. I'll be in Pittsburgh tomorrow. I'm gonna do a little meet and greet in Pittsburgh. We're gonna look at some assisted living facilities they got for sale up there in Pittsburgh. Hope I can find something nice. We actually going to Cranberry. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Cranberry Township, but it's a nice little community in Pennsylvania, and I fell in love with it. I went out there messing around one time, and I seen some senior community, some senior opportunities for, it's a decent community on the outskirts of Pittsburgh, like 20 minutes from the city, where we like that area as far as for assisted living and home care. We have a home care service out there as well in Cranberry. She said, I called and received no call. Please call. Did you, Marie from NY, you said you called and then nobody call you back? Leave a message, I'll call you back. What happened? Oh, it flipped around. She said, I text for Bernadette Matt. She said you didn't receive the LF, you didn't receive the free assisted living thing. Text me. We gonna send it to you. When I put that stuff out there, you gotta realize something. It's 13,000 people on this page that y'all on right now. If I put something out for free, I'm getting damn near 13,000 text messages. So it's gonna take some time. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of time I'm doing it at night because everybody went home. And I'm not gonna have you, hey, send this out while you at home. I don't want to make nobody work while they at home. So I'm just cutting and pasting, trying to get it done. But we'll get to you. It's not just you. I know it feel like as soon as you can get it, but we gonna send it to you. I apologize if you ain't get it just yet, but there's a lot of people sent. When I put that free, it's more of a hassle getting it to y'all. Okay? I don't mind giving it away, but getting it to y'all, like once they, the free is crazy. When you say free, they go crazy. Is it just in your state? I don't know what you saying, Miss Natalie Nicole. You said, is that just in my state? What you referring to? I'm trying to read. Somebody said, true that. I'm sorry, how do we sign up for your online course? You just go to AlanChaney.com and go to the virtual business coaching. That's the best one to start with if you're just trying to get new to the industry and you just want to get some information on how to get started. This is the absolute truth, Betty. It's just the reality of what we doing here, man. This is what we about. Pamela talking about grumpy old man. Grumpy man, I'm already grumpy. My parents would not go to a nursing home as long as I got a... Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that'd be your why sometime. Like, you be needing a why. You be needing a chip on your shoulder. Like, I got a chip on my shoulder. I got a chip on my shoulder from shit my grandmother said to me when I was young. I got a chip on my... And I be trying to prove her wrong. A lot of my motivation comes from proving people wrong, man. And... you need that chip on your shoulder. A lot of people had life so good, so sweet, they don't really got no real reason to do nothing. It was so easy. When you under some pressure, people that put you down and told you what you couldn't do, and the society told you wasn't shit, and, school systems held you back, and then now I'm making more money than every teacher that ever taught me. You know what I mean? And I love it. But you gotta have that chip on your shoulder. Monique said, how do we sign up? AlanChaney.com. All our programs is on AlanChaney.com, Monique. Angelina said her kids, her family won't go to a nursing home as long as she got a breath in her body. Absolutely. Somebody said how much? We got a couple different programs. They go from $97. I think we got a product on there for $60. And if you can't put the money together, give us a call. We'll give you a discount for anything we got. I called also. I guess that means you ain't get a call. Leave a message. If you calling and not leaving a message, don't expect no return call, because we get a lot of missed calls. We just not calling. Missed calls back. But if you leave a detailed message, show us that you're interested, we're gonna give you a call back. We're gonna give you a call back. Trust me. I had a business in the box from Miss Dale already. That's the same thing, right? Yep, same thing. I'm listening to the Done For You program. Go sign up. We almost done taking people from the Done For You. So if you ain't in the Done For You and you want to get in there now. Because at the end of this quarter, we're not taking nobody else. We're going to get everybody's company up and running. We got to do their marketing, their branding, their license. We doing everything for you. So there's only so many people we can do that for. So jump on the Done For You program as soon as y'all can. I'm signing up in GA, in Georgia. Okay. We helping in Georgia. We got a girl who just got her business up and running in Georgia. We just shared her story on the page. Alan, Celeste is my sister. Oh, Celeste is my sister. We want to partner up. Yeah, give us a call, man. We work with sister partners, husband and wife. We got a lot of husband and wife teams join us. Mother daughter. She said she got her chip. Yeah, you gotta have that chip on your shoulder, man. You gotta have attitude. You gotta be serious, man. You gotta have a chip on your shoulder. Like that chip in the shoulder. That's the chip in the shoulder. What you be talking? You be talking all that mess to yourself in the shower. Like, yeah, I'm about to kill it. You know what I mean? When I get, I'm on it. I'm gonna do this, bust this one. Like I'm just talking myself through my whole. You know what I mean? And I'm getting back at you. Even if you're not even in my life, I'm still proving a point to you. Like it's some people like, and I mean, it might not be the healthiest way to, everything. Everybody want to be positive and all that, but I get a lot of my motivation and inspiration out of my anger and just like the hardness of my life. You know what I mean? That's what drive me. So she said, so I went to your page and it's super dope that you do everything for people. Yeah, it's not even 3,000. That's not it was 9,000. We dropped it to 2,500 because we took out some of the stuff that we feel like y'all could do on your own, and we just kind of kept the meat so we can still help y'all, so y'all can focus on stuff. And then we don't want to give us so much money, and then y'all ain't got no money to run your business with. So that's why we create a business plan. Payment plan, so you can take your time. You can give us a little money, help us help you, and then you can still got money to help yourself and do the things that you need to do. But it's gonna cost money to do it. It's gonna cost. Ain't no business ain't no real business. You can hear all them network marketing pitches where you get to put $100 a month, and you ain't no shit gonna work like that for no $100 a month. You gotta invest real money into your business. If you ain't got money, you gotta invest real time, real sweat equity. You know. Does it have to be paid in full? No, you can split it up into multiple payments. We're going to work with you. If you're serious, we'll work with whatever payment program that you need to be on. We're going to help you. Can you set up in Raleigh, North Carolina? We already working with somebody in North Carolina. It's not in Raleigh, but we working with somebody in North Carolina getting a assisted living facility set up, Monique. And I already got connections at the office with the architects and the people. I know the lady who do the actual license in North Carolina. So we squared away in North Carolina. We got any more questions? Yeah, I don't see no more questions. I'm gonna jump off of here. Charlotte, yeah, we got North Carolina. We squared away in the whole North Carolina. Yeah, we could do the whole North Carolina. Most states. We got a problem in California. But we don't give up. We just got to work a little harder. But California is probably the only state that's giving us a hard time with the assisted living. I'm about to jump off of here. I'm gonna catch y'all later, okay? So for that, do you have to buy a home first? So it's a couple different ways you could do it. You can lease the property. We walk you through that whole process, how to reach out to the landlords, how to set up the deals with them to, to get them to work with you. Or we work with a realtor. If you're ready to buy a new property, we help you with that first property. We'll help you with, buying that first home as well. Like a lot of people don't realize you could buy, if you got 600 credit score, you've been at your job for 3 years, I can get you a house. You could be a homeowner. You know what I mean? 600 and you've been at your job. And then it don't even got to be 600 now. We going to get it to 600. You know what I mean? Because my mortgage broker's a beast. So we going to get you there. So yeah, South Carolina, every state pretty much. California, it's just taking us a little longer, but we got every state for the assisted living and the home care for sure. I'm gonna jump off here, and I'm glad you guys chimed in. Watch the replay if you came in late. It's also gonna be up on YouTube. I'll talk to y'all soon. Detroit, Michigan, absolutely. We're working with somebody in Michigan right now. So have a good day, y'all.